6 months. He didn't ask for a payment plan, and he paid the entire thing. Why? Because I was consistent in my work. And as someone who is looking to start into this industry, as long as you've gotten your first sale, just make sure you try to get that first sale. When you get the first sale, there's going to be evidence of you going far in the industry, and you use that to elevate your game. You use that to push more. You use that first sale to ask for referrals. That is what will give you evidence that yes, I can make it in this field. So as a person, or as somebody who wants to start, you need to be able to put yourself out there, right? We've talked about WhatsApp. WhatsApp is where you're able to start with the people that already know you, right? It's easier for the people who know you to patronize you. So you cannot say you are starting this business and the people on your WhatsApp is everybody does not know that you are already into this business. You need to start making calls, telling everybody that I am into this industry now. This is what I am doing. I'm trying to be a real estate professional. Please patronize me. Please refer your people, anybody that you think might be interested in this. Cold calling needs to be part of your daily activity, right? As a salesperson, you need to set a goal, a long-term goal. Let's say a 5-year goal for yourself, that in 5 years time, what do I want to achieve in this field? Do you want to be selling a 10 million naira monthly? Do you want to be selling 5 million naira monthly when it at your 5-year mark? So when you set that goal for yourself for 5 years, you then need to break down everything you need to be doing every day for you to get to that 5-year mark. Let's say in 5 years time you want to become the top salesperson in a company, or in 1 year time you want to become the top salesperson in that company. So what do you do every day to become the top salesperson? For one, you need to start making calls every day. You need to start putting content every day. And it is by you doing these things every day that would bring you closer to that 1 year goal. Things don't just happen all of a sudden. You can, just like previous speakers have spoken, that you can make your first sale in the first 1 month, in the first 1 week. But what will determine you is how you are able to move further from that. Some people, like some of the speakers said, that some people will make a lot of sales within their first weeks of selling, and it gets to their head. Somebody said that somebody went to start renting a office, or start spending on things that are unnecessary. But if you're able to strategically place yourself where you are, instead of going to buy things that are not useful, you go back and reinvest it in your knowledge. You go back and reinvest it in classes like this, so that you are able to improve on your sales. You are able to even pay for some websites that you need to put your products out there. But this is even going further. Like I said, starting on your WhatsApp, everybody needs to know what you do. Everybody needs to know what you do. When you get any information about what real estate is, post it on your status. What is real estate? As you are here and you say you want to start a career in real estate, if I ask you now, what is real estate? Can you tell me? Can anybody here tell me what real estate is? Is there anybody that can volunteer and say this is what real estate is? Anybody? Esther, can you tell me what real estate is?
I'm just a baby. I just started. Please tell me.
All right. So that is why you are here, right? And
Yeah.
this is just the starting point for a lot of you. I'm sure a lot of you, some people here have been in the industry for a while, and it's what differentiates you is the kind of knowledge or the kind of things you begin to do. You cannot wait for somebody to give you all the knowledge, right? Of
Mhm.
course, classes like this is where you are going to learn, but you need to go further in your own, to do your own personal research, to say what is even real estate itself. What are the documents people will get? What are some of the laws that govern purchase of real estate? What is the deed of assignment? What is the C of O? All these things are what you need to start downloading yourself. And when you teach yourself all these things, you begin to post it on your status. You begin to start creating video content like this, where you sit in front of a camera, talk about these things, and you just post it on the internet. You see people who this is it has a way of putting you out there, and for people to come and meet you. Like we said, at first you start reaching out to people, but you cannot do that all the time. You cannot reach out to people all the time. It is your content that you are able to create, the written content, the video content you create, that would be able to attract people to you. Because um there's a limit to what you can do as a person. Let's say you are reaching out to people every day, let's say 10 people in a day, but your content as a content creator, what you've been able to create, educating people about the real estate sector, would get up to 1,000 people, which you cannot normally do on your own. It will get to 2,000 people because you're able to create video content, because you're able to write something on a page, or post your business somewhere on Instagram, on Facebook, and every all other social media platform.
Sir, I
So
have a question. I have a
okay,
question. I have two questions, sir, because we're not going to have that much time. So pardon me for just throwing my questions in.
all right,
Number one, would you advise a new, let's say somebody who just came into the real estate space, who is attending meetings like this and is learning things
yeah.
like what a POV is, and the person should start making content about that, right? Would you advise that person to all open multiple social medias and manage all of them, or would you say, okay, use the ones you can manage for the time being and focus on those ones, be consistent on those ones, or would you say use all of them at once? That's one. Then secondly, is there any method you have to combine cold calling with content creation?
All right, thank you so much for that awesome question. So the first, you said, is it advisable to use all social media platforms? Yeah. So the advice is to start with one, right? Start with one, because if you there's no way that it has a way of bringing you down, because you can't be everywhere at all times. So in all the classes I've been able to attend, in everything I've been, even from my personal experience, it is important that you start with one. If you want to focus on creating content on TikTok, you focus on that for a while. And when you build that audience, you're able to then transfer that same audience you built on one of those platforms into the next platforms, right? A lot of salespeople or a lot of real estate people will tell you that focus on YouTube. Some people will tell you that, okay, focus on TikTok. But what I'll tell you is that focus on anyone. There are people, just you're able to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. Understand the various social media platforms, right? Like your WhatsApp now, you can just, like this evening, I just made a video of myself on my Snapchat or on my camera talking about um um what the prices of land used to be 2 years ago and what they are now, and I posted it. So it is important that you just understand those various social media platforms, start with one, and grow it into a full-fledged business. So if you say you want to start on Instagram because you think most of your clients can come from Instagram, focus on it. Look at other social real estate people or realtors, real estate consultants, people who have gone ahead. Look at the kind of content they create and check what they are doing, and also try to replicate it. Do not copy. I did not say copy. There's a way you can take ideas from it and make yours different. So take ideas from those different those platforms like YouTube, like TikTok, like Instagram. What are these people doing? Then try to be in line with it. Build on that first one. But most of the time, like I said, it starts from WhatsApp, because like real estate is a market that people have to trust you before they give you money. So your WhatsApp is easier to convert. Start with your WhatsApp, where you can be posting every time, daily, and every day like that. Sorry, is your hand raised, sir, Mr. Oladayo?
Yes, my hands are raised.
All
Okay,
right.
so you just mentioned something. You said that it's mostly about trust. Well, I wanted to ask a question which I feel like I know part of the answer, but I'm not entirely certain.
Okay.
Now, in terms of creating content, first of
Yeah.
all, your face is behind the content. So
Yes.
people know you, people identify you, right? And it
Yes.
builds some level of trust. You are not a stranger.
Yes.
Now, how else can you tailor content to make people trust you? I feel like things like apart from educating people makes people trust you to a point, but are there
Yes.
any kind of content you can make that makes you yourself position as more on the side of the client, like that the client now sees you as for him and not just for your money, that your commission, or just for or just for the developer that is developing the product?
So yes, 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 and yes. That is a very good question. Educative content has a way of teaching people, trying to get people to buy and everything like that. But there are certain levels of, there are certain kinds of content or topics that you pick that would make people understand that okay, you are not just here for the money, you're also here to for their best interest. Like when a lot of house demolitions were happening, um they didn't want to talk about it. They just wanted to avoid it because when they talk about house demolitions, people don't want to, they say, us, we're not doing anything like that. They don't want to tell people. But as a person or as a professional, there's a way you can handle that situation. Talk about it and say, this is why these things are happening. So you're able to head on attack these issues that people are running away from. It will make you more trustworthy, right? When talking about documentation as well, because it's not everybody that would give you documents. So if you are able to talk about some of this documentation, like on the documents to expect when you are buying land, because some people will just give you a receipt and they say you have bought land, which is not right. You need to then go further to um, other documents, deed of assignment, contract of sale, your registered survey. These are the things that would even further secure your purchase. So if you're able to put out content like that, it has a way of putting in the minds of people you are trying to attract that okay, this person has my best interest at heart. They are telling me that okay, this is what I need. It is not only receipt I need other documentation that would secure my property. Make sure that you don't run away from topics like this. It has a way of building more trust in the minds of people. Yes, I hope I've been able to answer that question, Sam.
Thank you very much. You have answered flawlessly and excellently. Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Bravo.
Okay.
Guys, do we have any questions we want to ask? Because we need to manage time. So, guys, do we have questions we want to ask? Or should Mr. Nehemiah fire on? Because there's so much knowledge to be. I just want you guys to ask your questions on time so that it doesn't get to the end that we're rushing questions. Does
Yeah.
anybody
Is
have
there
any
any
question at this
question?
point?
No, still learning.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So I think you asked the second question. I don't know if I've been able to answer that. If you can remind me, Mr. Dayo. I think you asked the second question, but I can't recall. You asked two questions.
No, I
Then
asked.
okay. If you can't recall, I will just keep going. Yeah. So like what the focus is on building trust or building an online presence, right? And there are
Mm-hmm.
certain things you need to start talking about. You need to start talking about the real estate sector. You need to position yourself as a figure, and you do this by creating educational content. You do this by publishing on-site content, because it is those kind of content that when people see, they will know what you are doing. You need to be able to go for site inspection. You can create a day in the life of a realtor, where you are going to sites, you are showing them different sites before the land. Let's say major landmarks. You need to be able to understand those major landmarks, how they affect the prices of your real estate, Alaro City, the new international airport, if they build all those things, how does it affect the prices of real estate in the axis that all these things happen? They are building roads. What happens when they complete the road? All those things, there are different ways of you creating some level of understanding in the minds of people, right? Because all these things matter. If they are building a new school in Ekpe, you need to be able to tell people that, okay, they are building a new school. As people who are building houses, your children can go to these schools. People who are renting your house would want to people who are working in Dangote refinery will want to rent your house in the future, amongst other things like this. All these kinds of content as related to real estate. The kind of universities in Ekpe, do you know that there are higher institutions in Ekpe, like the St. Augustine University, the amongst others like that. The last week, yeah, there is Yabatech
Yabatech
Ekpe
Ekpe
campus.
campus.
There are a lot of things like that. All these things, you need to understand major landmarks. You teach people all these things because it is by them seeing all these things that would show them that, okay, Ekpe is developing. Ekpe is not just bush. Because some people will tell you that Ekpe that is very far. Is there even anything in Ekpe? If you're able to visit Ekpe, you will see that there is a town already. There's a settlement in Ekpe. There's a town where everything is going on. People think that Ekpe is one village where nothing is happening there, but it is not. It is by your visitation to all those places, you creating content that surrounds all these things that would even show people that, okay, things are happening. Things are happening in Ekpe. What are the government plans? All these things and more. If you're able to create content around it, and it doesn't have to be just videos alone, it can be written. It can be written. That's where a lot of people make mistakes. You can, for one, this is a strategy that works for a lot of people. Create a broadcast message. You know, a lot of business people do that, and have a way of educating them that, okay, this is what happens, or the latest news in Ekpe. Like last week now, Dangote was saying that he bought land of $100 million in Ekpe, that he paid for the land he bought for his refinery. And a lot of people did not know that. Some people were thinking that the government just dashed him land, but it wasn't so. So if you're able to be at the top of the news happening in the Lagos market, in the real estate market, you need to be able to put out things like that. What is happening in Ibadan? What is the government developing this time that will make sure that people's land will go out? You need to be at the top of it, doing all these things consistently every day. By you doing that, people understand that, okay, it correlates. This they are building roads. It will affect the prices of my real estate. So I need to buy. I need to buy now so that before that time comes, my real estate would have been worth so much more. So all these things are the kind of content you'll be putting out there. And as a real estate person, right, there's a perception you need to create in the minds of others, right? You need to position yourself as a professional, that you know what you are doing. Like previous speakers have spoken, that you need to understand, first of all, everything about the product. Your appearance on social media needs to be a key factor. You can't be selling real estate and you don't have a profile picture. You can't be selling real estate and it seems like you're a ghost. How will people even trust you? You don't have a picture on your profile picture and you think you want to sell. People, there's no way you can attract people by that. So your social media has to have a level of professionalism. You even need to go to a studio to take pictures, headshots of you dressed in corporate wears so that people will see your appearance. Everything you post on social media matters. You can't be selling a product of 4 million naira, 7 million naira, and you're always posting certain things about Sakpa, they worry you, this and that, or you're drinking Gary. There is no way that people will trust you because you are
That's very
creating.
important. Please keep your struggles to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. Even if you are drinking Gary, go and keep it. Do it in your closet and come online and tell people that, okay, you are selling real estate. Because if you are drinking Gary online and posting it, people say, now this one make I come buy land of 7 million naira, make I give her money now, make it wrong with them. So you need to be able to create a perception in the minds of people that when they give you money, you are not going to run away from it. You need to be able to, when you start making your first sale, second sale, changing your wardrobe, changing the things that you post out there. You need to be able to attend, go to different places, high-end restaurants, take pictures. It's just positioning. If you have a car, post it. These are the things that will make people, this person, okay, there's no way you can run away with my money. There's a way it creates trust in your in the lives of people, right? And not just real estate content all the time. Come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. You need to be able to branch out into different aspects as well. If you are somebody who reads books, you need to be able to post it that, okay, I read a lot of books. I these are the things I learned from my books. Look at behind me now. I have books. If I read, there's a way I can drop summaries on my status, excerpts from these books. Okay, this is what it is. Motivational. When I read a finance book, I learned something about finance. I learned something new about savings. I will teach people, because as a real estate person, you need to be a professional in so many lights. So when you're able to start teaching people that, okay, there's a better way for you to save money, it will show them that you have their interest at heart, right? Like, okay, you can automatically set up a savings account, let's say using PiggyVest, that every month it will be taking 100,000 naira from your salary. That is the way, that's the strategy. You are teaching people that, okay, this is easy. It is easy for them to do that. So you are not just telling them come and buy. It is in a way telling them to come and buy, but not directly. There's a saying that says people like going shopping with friends. Nobody likes to be sold to, right? People don't want to know that they are selling to them. But when they know that, okay, they're the ones asking
Sorry,
you
sir. I
questions.
want to add something. You see that saying he just said, you need to know that things like that comes from books. So you can see how important reading also is, right? Guys, also another thing I think I just want to help articulate a little bit. You see, this idea of positioning is important, because when you position well, even your prospect starts to look up to you. And
Yeah,
anybody who looks up to you will do what you say. Guys,
yeah.
I have prospects who have bought from me that call me sir. They don't
Mm,
know that their commission is what is feeding me. They don't know that their commission is what is funding my lifestyle, right? But they
yeah.
call me sir. They call me because you have position. So, Ebin Power, please stop posting such. You know, all those funny things. Please make sure you stop posting. Strictly stick to being professional. It might
Yeah.
look like a lot at first, but look, being professional is the best in every scenario. I just thought I should add that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So positioning, leveraging, all these things are very key. Your dressing, your perfumes, everything. When you go out, people need to understand that this person is a professional. You know, it's not that people will then they will look at you immediately and know that this one doesn't have anything. So you have to position yourself. It is very key. So another thing I want to make mention of is social proof. Social proof is something that can convert a lot for you. And what do I mean by social proof? You need to show people that you are into the industry, right? You need to show people when you go for a location that, okay, I went to a location, I went to site today. So this is a very good testimony from my side. Um, One of my friends bought land from me, right? We went to the same school. And when he bought land from me, I made sure that the two of us, when we were on site, when I was giving him his documents, we took pictures and I posted it everywhere. I posted it on my social media, I posted it on my WhatsApp. Do you know that people saw that knew that my friend, and they were like, this person has bought land too. And they bought land from me. Why? Social proof. Social proof. There is a way it converts for you. Because people are seeing that, okay, this other person has trusted you to buy. Me too, I'll come and trust this person and buy as well. So you need to be very intentional about everything you post. When somebody buys from you, share your receipts, clear their names, hide the person's name, post the amount, and just don't they don't even need to see the amount. Post the receipts of people buying. There's a way it creates a perception. Like yesterday, they'll say FOMO, fear of missing out. It creates a perception in people's minds that, okay, people are buying from you, so I can as well trust you to buy from you as well. So social proof goes a long way. Social proof goes a long way. That is why social media is very important. You know, go to social media, right? You'll see that on my page, I have a picture with a Aproko Doctor. I have a picture with Omotara. These are influencers. And I am leveraging their own audience because I have been able to see them. There are people who have created content on the internet. And when I took pictures with Omotara, I ran advertisements. I ran advert because I wanted more people to see that, okay, I am with Omotara and I am into real estate. When they see those kind of things, it has a way of attracting them to me because I want to sell. Because I want them to see that, okay, this person can be trusted. If Omotara can be with them, that means they are trusted people. If a Aproko doctor can be with them, I can also buy from this person. I went to an event and I saw a Aproko doctor, and we did everything for us to get that picture. And that picture is still on my page till now because he has the audience. This is where you can leverage other people's audience as well, because you have been able to see them. They have a big audience on their own, and you leverage on their audience too. So it is important that you go out for events like this so that you have a lot of evidence, you have a lot of social proof that you're not a ghost. You are not somebody who will just run away with my money. So creating perceptions in the mind of people is what you do as a realtor, as a real estate salesperson. Because people cannot just dash you money, they cannot just give you money like that. So create the perception in people's minds. Dress the way a professional would dress. Be on your best behavior. You cannot be a real estate salesperson and you are begging for giveaway all the time. You are under Insta blog, insulting people, causing. So there's a mindset and perception that you need to create that would be very different from every other person, right? And leverage social media a lot. Leverage social media. Like we said, there's very little you can do by calling every other person. But um imagine you being able to to reach people with the kind of content you do. You're able to reach people with the kind of content you do. Make sure you leverage all those groups you are on. You went to NYC camp, or people who are even in camp, or you are yet to go to camp. When you go to camp, collect all the numbers you can, because you don't know where people are coming from. This is how you
Guys,
build your.
just keep. So, Mr. Munema, I'm very sorry to butt in, but you see this particular point you set out, I really want to just expatiate on it.
Yeah.
So, before I got into real estate, I had another business. It's a tech business here, right? I dealt in gadgets back in the days. Guys, I'll tell you something that you see, this idea of collecting numbers. I have always been a connections person. I have never really, as you can see, I'm not as consistent as Mr. Nehemiah when it comes to making content, even though I do my fair share. But guys, I've always been a connections person. When I was in camp, I knew that I was in Lagos camp, and the only kind of people in Lagos camp are people who had enough money to run it. You know how we do in Nigeria, right? When that came to my knowledge, what I did was, number one, I pretended to be creating a camp connect, and I got so many people's numbers. I got so many people's numbers. After that, I hired a lady to go into the female campus inside the Unilearning camp, because the females have their part, the males have their part, to collect as many numbers. Today, I have more than 6,000 contacts because of those same things. Guys, look, you see those people, I can tell you that every single business I've done, they sustain it a lot more. A lot of people see me and they say, this guy, why you always, once you have posted on WhatsApp, you're not really posting. I use other platforms. I use my Instagram, I use my LinkedIn, I use my TikTok, I use my Twitter. But guys, look, it cannot compare to the results that I get from organically meeting people. So keep it at the top of your mind every single time when you are meeting people, when you're when you're going into new settings, whatever it is, make sure that you keep real estate at the top of your mind to the point where you are always connecting with people. You don't have to connect to people and say, all right, give me a number, I sell real estate, I see real estate. Just be, once you're looking good, you're smelling nice, you are looking good. If you approach anybody to talk to them like, oh, I'd like to connect a lot, I feel like we can do things in the future. I feel like the kind of people who come here are people who are ambitious, people who have something going for them, and I look forward to a mutually beneficial relationship in the future. You would find that these people will be so open to connecting with you that whatever it is you are doing, they will do it with you. So guys, this is very, very important. Keep real estate at the top of your mind. As you keep it at the top of your mind, walk into real estate as if walk into every setting as if you want to connect. And don't look down on anybody, please. There are people that I never expected. There are people I thought I was helping that ended up helping me. So, guys, look, don't
Mhm.
look down on anybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you. So getting contacts is very key, right? We talk about a lot of social media, social media, social media, but it does not compare to the people you're able to connect with. I have made clients from different aspects, but I can tell you that it is the people that I met in person that I have closed more, right? I went to an event where I was able to connect with a few people. I went to a tech event, and do you know that within some months, because that person has been able to save my contact and they are seeing what I do, I was consistent in posting and everything.